going to say, I told you so. We did this in a rush. Therefore, the IEBC must be very, very careful not to bungle the oncoming by-election. By all means, they must conduct a free, fair, and credible election, Cynthia. Where they stand right now, they are preparing, and I hope they have prepared well enough to deliver those credible elections in all the by-elections, starting from the all MCA levels, that are the elections that have been declared. But what I see as the biggest test for them, Cynthia, is the parliamentary elections. That will be a very big test. It is not going to be a big test for them because they are the IEBC, but because these are the by-elections that have drawn the political parties that are led by political bigwigs in this country into the ring. Unlike the MCAs, if they were to conduct only MCA seats, we could not have had so much pressure on them from themselves. But now, because we have elections that are, we have parliamentary seats that are empty, that are going to be filled, and we have political heavyweights that have thrown their hat and their hearts into the ring. Therefore, the IEBC must be very careful to please both the Mwananchi and also the political actors, bearing in mind, time to come, the political actors will also dictate on how much the IEBC will be allocated. Therefore, it's a very big test for them, Cynthia.
And Gitu, you know, he talks about they've had limited time not to prepare, but if you look just at the events that have happened in the country, you know, the last commission that was in place left office at about 2023. Now there's a new commission in 2025. And obviously there would have been a rush to it because we had so many wards and constituencies which were not represented, and they were lacking access to government funds, CDF and things like that. And so really the time issue is not in their hands. It was just, that is how it was designed to be looking at the events that have happened in the country.
Okay. Thank you so much, Cynthia, for having me this morning.
You're welcome.
To the EBN TV, and I'm really grateful to be here this morning. So, first of all, I come from Kiambu County, Kiambu County in Kiambaa constituency. And as you remember very well, in 2021, we had a by-election in Kiambaa constituency, 2021, where we had our MP died, and we had a by-election where the UDA party came into place, and also Jubilee party came into place to test maybe their powers. So what I can say about how IBC has planned, how they have planned on this by-election that is coming on November. I think they'll use the techniques that were there, that were used by the previous commissioners to come and to go into this by-election and to bring credibility, and to also we want the IBC to build the trust with the people, not only with the parties, with the parties that are coming into place. We want them to build trust with the people as they head into this by-election. Second of all, we have been having constituencies and wards that have been lacking representation in the National Assembly and also in the county assemblies. So, and these are very good thing. We cannot say that they don't have time to prepare. 3 months, they can prepare very well, because this is an independent body coming into place to into play. So what I'm saying is they are prepared. They are prepared very well, as I listen to the commissioners very well, and also I'm hoping that they won't rely on the masses and on the powers of the political parties coming to play. They will rely more on proving to the people of Kenya that they are credible enough to bring change and to bring what the people expect from them.
Right. And you've mentioned a great point, because listening to both of you, it's sort of like the politicians have got a role to play as well. and they will be at the center of some of the decision making of the IBC. But isn't it important that the IBC puts the people first to be able to, as he said, make sure people trust that they can conduct free, fair elections come 2027 or even the by-elections that are to come? So how does the IBC put that sort of balancing act that, yes, we've got politicians involved, after all, they're the ones running for these seats, but at the end of the day, it's the people that will come and vote, and it's the people that are going to assess what we've done.
Cynthia, the current IEBC now finds itself in between a rock and an extremely hard place. Because one, they must please the political class, but at the same time, not just a normal political class, but a very, very unpopular political class. And you see, there is a very big difference between the political class and the common mwananchi currently. Therefore, the IBC is torn between pleasing the political class and pleasing the common mwananchi, who has now distanced himself from the political class. There are a lot of things that have happened in this country that have shown us that the political class are on their own level, and the common mwananchi is charting a new direction, Cynthia. Therefore, the IBC must come up with a very clear and definite plan that will then ensure that the election satisfies not only the political class, but majorly the common mwananchi, who then must be pleased so that he can trust this IBC to deliver a free, fair, and credible election this coming 2027. Right. Therefore, the IBC must be very, very careful with the oncoming by-elections. Because should there be a blunder, it shall be very clear and evident that the mwananchi who is not pleased with the political class has also been dissatisfied with the IBC. That would be very detrimental to the coming elections, to the forthcoming elections in 2027. Therefore, the election must be very free and fair, pleasing majorly not the political class, but ensuring that the will of the common mwananchi has been outlined, has been captured, and has been shown by the IBC through their votes that they are going to cast. There must not be any twinge of a side that points in a direction that says this is unfair towards the common mwananchi. Remember, Cynthia, I've told you, there's a very hostile environment between the common mwananchi and the political class. That is very evident in this country. There's a very big paradigm shift between the common mwananchi and the political class. Therefore, the IBC must deliver. It is not optional for them. Must deliver a credible, fair election that ensures not the political class is pleased, but the common mwananchi is pleased, lest they suffer the same fate that is currently being suffered by the political class in this country.
All right.
Yes.
Gitu, a few weeks ago, the chairperson of the IBC, Erastus Edunge Thokon, appeared before a committee of parliament, and he was tasked to explain why they want more money, because they had been allocated about 40 billion shillings, and they were requesting that if they can get that money high up to around 65 billion shillings. And he said the reason why that budget is so high is because they need to invest in systems that the people can trust. And so the chairperson himself identifies that there's a huge trust deficit problem in Kenya. And that is why they have to invest massively in systems which are expensive. We have ballot papers that come from abroad. I mean, if you look at just the number of how much we spend as a country, it's quite high, and we conduct one of the most expensive elections. And so, I mean, if we can get that trust up and running amongst Kenyans, can we have that budget down?
Okay, thank you so much. So, the chairperson, IBC, called for additional of his budget to conduct this by-election and maybe to prepare for the upcoming general election. So, as for me, we need to really invest in technology, and that's all that the Mr. Erastus was talking all about. They're coming with ballot papers from abroad, and also there's also a technology that they are coming up with. So, as for me, I won't much comment on the money they are questioning. I'll question more on the independency of this IBC. Independency, I mean, if they are giving this money, will they be able to deliver an election that is very clean? An election that we don't want to see things that happened in the last election, in the 2022 election, where the commissioners were split into two. We had Cherala and Saman. So if they're given this money, if the parliament approved the money that they want, maybe now it's upon now the chairperson IBC now to work hand in hand with his commissioners, and also to make sure that we will have a very transparent by-election in November, and also we will have a very clean election come 2027, have in mind that we have so much pressure coming from the Gen Z, pressure coming from the political party, pressure coming now from the common minority. So Mr. Rastas, the chairperson IBC, must be very clear on the mission, on the goal. He is not the government. The IBC is not the government. The IBC is an independent body to oversee our election. Let them have, if this budget is approved, let us have a very clean, a very credible election and by-election come 2027 and maybe November this year.
Cynthia, agree to disagree. What we need is not more money on the IEBC. It is not. We just need a system that can be trusted. We conduct one of the very most expensive elections in Africa. Kenya leads. Have we had an election despite, or the fact that we have the most expensive election, notwithstanding? Have we had an election that everyone has claimed that it is free and fair?
Well, if we invest in technology, it's not going to be cheap.
Yes, it is not going to be cheap, but at the same time, is it really the technology that we need, or we need the change in the IBC that seems to be free and fair? Cynthia, we are not new in this country. We are all Kenyans. And the fact is, Mr. Erastus was touted and called a presidential appointee. Was that not the case? He was named a presidential appointee. Now, we are having a chair of an independent commission that is supposed to run an election being called a presidential appointee. Do you expect people that will vie against the president now to agree with the results that is going to announce? What I think we need, Cynthia, is a body that is not politically affiliated, or a person who is not seen to be politically affiliated towards some specific directions of political affiliation. But what we need, yes.
But how can we achieve that? Because the recruitment process itself is a political process.
That is where my problem is. Okay. We left a national decision, a national decision or a national process to be run by politicians who will satisfy their own egos and their own plans. What I think, Cynthia, we need a mechanism that will now be put in place that does not involve any political partakers to take part in electing IEBC. Okay. You cannot be a footballer at the same time be the one who is electing the referee. Because the referee is bound by forces that we are not going to mention. Okay. Is bound to be bipartisan. Is bound to look on one side because you did not support me. You are supporting someone else. That is why I'm insisting on the fact that we just need to recreate the process of creating IEBC and take it away from the politician. And now we have a neutral body that can run free and fair election.
All right, Gitu, what's your point of view on that? Because the IBC, the recruitment process is a political process. You've got organs that are coming together to, make up the selection panel. People who come from the political parties dispute tribunal, for example, make up the selection panel. And so it cannot be really free of political interference, can it?
So I think I'll beg to maybe disagree and agree at some part. So first of all, once these people are appointed to these positions, they are appointed by political, maybe political by the president, or maybe the political parties, and they must follow the constitution. The constitution is there, so upon the activities, they must follow the constitution. There's an act of IBC how they should do things. So even if there's that element of political interference, or maybe being led, being influenced by a political party, I think it's better we give these people a chance and an opportunity for them to use systems, for them to use the systems that they are coming up with. I saw they're coming up with iris system.
Yeah.
So where someone will be recognized by the facial appearances, and by the eyes, and also by fingerprints. So we need to give these people some percentage of we trust in you. We trust in you in that we have a constitution. Second of it, when elections are done, election is being finalized in the classroom, in the polling center. So once we have this is a school, and we have 200 votes, there's a form that's called 34A. The 34A is the final election. Is the final thing to an election. So once the results are announced, for example, for presidents are announced, we will know. We as Gen Zs, we as young people, we will know certain presidential candidate has certain votes, certain presidential, certain MP or certain governor has this kind of votes. So, as for me, I'll give them 50% trust that they will deliver a credible election.
Right.
Cynthia, what we need, I will disagree with Ibrahim just a bit. What we need is not to pamper the election body. What we need is a body that is, he has mentioned and said that there are chances of political interference. Can we just not have a body that does not have a political interference?
Then that means we'll have to go back to a referendum.
Yeah, I wanted to note something. Cynthia, the current constitution, our 2010 constitution, that there was a panel of experts on law that sat down and wrote our constitution in the year 2009, coming all the way to 2010. And that does not mean our constitution does not have some gray and black areas that need to be sorted. Yeah. They are there, but it is work in progress. What I'm saying is that we need to put the work in progress in motion. We have an election body that has no political interference. Otherwise, we shall all complain this year and the other year that we need to restructure ABC. Yeah. The next election, restructure ABC. And we all know those are channels for money, for corruption. All these channels that we talk about, money, add money here, add money there, add money here, have money here, with their channels for corruption. We are going to have the mega corruption scandal after each and every election because we have not had systems that we can trust. We don't have a body that is free of political interference. Ibrahim has said something here about the Gen Z. I have no problem with the Gen Z, and let it not be said that I'm fighting the Gen Z. But Cynthia, we need to also understand and accept the fact that the elections are not a preserve for Gen Zs. Elections have been set aside to be conducted by each and every Kenyan. Therefore, the Gen Zs cannot be the marking scheme for an election in this country. Therefore, we need systems that are going to be put in place free of political interference. But how can we achieve that? In this coming election, I see chances are 0 to none.
Okay, but also, let me say something. These commissioners or these the appointments in the IBC, they don't come from somewhere else. They don't come from maybe another country or from map. They come from this country. So, and once there is someone, even if it's a referee coming from this country, they must be affiliated to a political something, or else we cannot have 100% 100% people who are not political affiliated. First thing, they don't come from any place. They come from Kenya. So for us, we have a very powerful constitution, the 2010 constitution. And if this commission now elected, now appointed by the president, want to do their job very well, and want to avoid the thing that we had in 2017 where the judiciary, the CJ Maraga, the Supreme Court nullified the election. For them to avoid all these cases, for them to avoid the cases of Cherala 4, Cherala 4, they need to follow very well the constitution. They need to know very well that Kenyans are very informed people, people who cannot be directed, people who cannot be lied on, because they know very well where this country is heading to.
All right. As we talk about even the by-elections, I'd love to switch this conversation to a different aspect as well on the political parties themselves. We expect that the nominations of political party candidates and independent candidates for the by-elections shall be actually on Wednesday, tomorrow, and Thursday. And so we'll have the exact names of who is vying for what position. But one thing that's constant is that DCP, is a new political outfit that has been introduced. You've got the DAPK, you've got the ruling UDA party. And so what would it mean for a party, for instance, like UDA party, that has got that experience, fields a candidate, if it's in Mbeere North, for example, which is in Embu County, and it falls to a party like DP, which is being backed by Rigathi Gachagua?
Cynthia, let me tell you, these forthcoming by-elections are either a death trap for political parties or an opportunity to rejuvenate themselves. Right. Now, you mentioned the issue of the Mbeere North race. A very nice race. Now, you realize that DCP withdrew their candidate from that election. Now, it is a litmus test for the UDA party, it being that it is backed by the president and the state resources to go and get and clinch that seat. Should they lose, then it shall be a funeral announcement for the UDA party in the Mount Kenya region. Yes, there are rumors that UDA party is dead in the mountain, but this one will be a confirmation of the funeral, not of the funeral, of the death of UDA political party in the mountain region. Now, should they now get a chance and win and clinch the Mbeere North parliamentary seat, they will have a claim for 2027 to say that we are still in this mountain. Therefore, it is a do or die for UDA in Mbeere North. If they lose, then it is a death trap for them. And it is a chance for them to be rejuvenated. It is a chance for them to reclaim their lost glory. But if they lose, it is dead and buried for UDA in the mountain. But there is a political lifeline, though, if they win. Yes.
But one would argue that if they lose the Mount Kenya, that would have been predicted, putting in mind that Rigathi Gachagua was impeached and arguably UDA has lost ground in Mount Kenya.
We need to understand that the people who live in the reality of in the reality of losing the reality.
What do you mean?
What I mean is that the people who live in the beauty of the reality that they have created. Yeah. When they are told that you have lost popularity on the ground, and say that we are still popular, and then field a candidate, if they win by good luck, then we have a lifeline. If they lose, we told you so, and it is a confirmation that I am not popular. Therefore, I will live the reality of my unrealistic reality. Right. Therefore, the truth is, but all pointers have pointed that with all the research and the polls that have been done in Mbeere North, the pointers have been very, very clear, pointing toward the direction of the DP candidate winning. That is very evident. But should there be then a political lifeline for UDA, by bad luck or by good luck, or whatever luck there is, should it be that Leo wins? Then it becomes a political lifeline for the UDA party. But I assure you, Cynthia, come 2027, UDA will be as dead might mean. We are going to have a new political outfit.
Gito, from where you sit, I've just sampled Mbeere North. Obviously, there are other places which are conducting by-elections, but Mbeere North, because it's in Mount Kenya.
Yeah.
From where you sit, would you be surprised if UDA party loses that by-elections?
I want the UDA party, as we speak now, is a dead party, having in mind that we are having so much players come into place. We have player in Safina party. We have a player in
Chama cha
DCP. We have a player in Chama cha Kazi. We have a player in some other places ODM is playing part. So as for me, what I will say about the upcoming by-election, it's UDA, maybe it can win. We don't know, maybe they can use the masses, but I'm happy that the opposition have come into place. The Jubilee Party, the DCP, the DP have come into place to merge, all of them to merge and to support one candidate. One candidate in that in Mbeere we have a DP, in Mbeere we have a DP candidate. We have other places in Northeastern. Yeah, I think, is it Northeastern? We have a candidate in DCP. He was in UDA, but he was introduced to DCP. Coming in that by-election now, we will have different players coming to place, and this by-election that is coming should not be judged as how majority of Kenyans see things. Maybe the UDA can win even an MCA seat, but that doesn't mean that the UDA has regained its life. The DCP can win at a particular part, but that does not mean that the DCP will be a major political party in the nation. We are having so many candidates vying in the nation, and we cannot force them into one political party. Maybe DCP, or maybe Jubilee, or maybe another political party. In Kenya, we are going to a period where people won't be voting according to the political party, because we've seen very well these political party are used to front in candidates who are not capable of the seats they are vying for. These political party have come into place. They front candidates who have maybe financial masses than the other candidates. So we will have a political parties come into place, but let's not rely on just one political party.
Leon.
I was saying, this, Cynthia, and we're going to be back here and talk about it, is a chance for the public to express their frustrations with this government in the said constituencies. This is a chance. Therefore, the fact that we cannot dispute is that these by-elections are a precursor to what will happen in 2027. That we cannot dispute. Cynthia, away from Mbeere North, let us go to a rather more neutral area.
Like where?
Malava constituency.
Okay.
We have had the UDA have their candidates, and we also have the United Opposition have now fronted only one candidate. That is the DAPK candidate. Let me tell you, Cynthia, what the ground is going to communicate from Malava constituency will be a replica of what will happen in 2027 towards the government. In Malava, if the government is going to win in Malava, that is the UDA is going to win in Malava, there shall be hope for them. But should they lose, of which I foresee a circumstance and a situation where they lose, Cynthia, let it be known that not UDA, ODM has not fielded a candidate for the first time ever in the history of election in Western region.
Right.
In Malava constituency.
Why do you think that's the case?
That is the case because they are in bed with the UDA. That's why ODM has no candidate in Malava constituency. But by default, they're supporting the UDA candidate. And should Cynthia, should they lose to the DAPK candidate, it shall be also that it will be a funeral announcement for not only UDA but also for ODM in the Western region.
Yeah.
Therefore, I am saying, let us not treat these forthcoming elections as just by-elections. These are precursors and a communication, a message to the political class from the common mwananchi of what is going to happen in 2027. I have said this and I will say it again. In 2027, should there be more than 10 MPs that will be re-elected in parliament? I see no chance.
All right.
They will not survive this purge by the common mwananchi.
And we'll hold you to that.
Yes.
I'd love to bring up two leaders. That is Kithure Kindiki, the Deputy President, and Musalia Mudavadi, because these are two leaders who are coming from these key regions which are conducting by-elections. And we all know the history of just how Kindiki got into office.
Yes.
And this is his county, Embu County. And so he's been camping there for quite a bit, so has Musalia Mudavadi. And so if they lose, it will be interpreted to them not delivering this to UDA party, don't you think, Gitu?
So the deputy president has a lot of work to do. Have in mind that the deputy president was not elected by Kenyans. The deputy president was appointed by the president. By the president, maybe to have a soft case to the president in that. So Kindiki comes from Mount Kenya, and Mount Kenya we have by-elections. We have by-election here and there, and also Musalia Mudavadi and Moses Wetangula, they have a by-election in Western. So here in Mount Kenya, there is something that I really want to mention, that the deputy president, the current deputy president, don't have in Mount Kenya. In Mount Kenya, Kindiki don't have that massive support in that even when these by-elections are being conducted, he will once he lost, he has been given directions by the president. You must deliver this seat for you to remain in this government. In that the government now, the president now is behaving like the deputy president position is an appointment position, of which the constitution doesn't agree on that. So Kindiki has a lot of work to do in UDA. Has a lot of work to do, and I know, and I'm very clear that they will pour so many millions to people. They will pour so many millions to people to make sure that DP does not win. Otherwise, if DP wins, Kindiki, the deputy president, is done and gone.
Okay,
forever.
interesting predictions right there. Right.
Well, I agree totally with Ibrahim. These by-elections are a trap. Allow me to use the word trap. For both Musalia and Kithure Kindiki, that is Professor Kithure Kindiki, the Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya. They are a trap. Should they not deliver, then the president will have time to sit down, reconsider, and reconstitute a new team that he thinks can deliver. Why do I say that? Remember that the president, I've always insisted that in the graduates of political calculations, our president graduated best. But for the first time, the impeachment of his former deputy president, Rigathi Gachagua, was a political miscalculation. He now finds himself in a position where this was the favorite deputy president according to the people. But now I chose this one. Now I've decided I go the people's way because the people wanted Professor Kithure Kindiki as the deputy president, as it has been said severally. But he himself, as President Ruto, decided to choose Rigathi Gachagua. That notwithstanding, he then impeached Rigathi Gachagua and brought in the person that he thought was the people's option, only to realize that now the people's option is now being touted as rejected. Therefore, the deputy president, Professor Kithure Kindiki, must ensure that he delivers that seat to show some political lifeline for not only himself but also for the government. But I assure you, come 2027, we are going to have a new person deputizing President William Samoei Ruto. That one, take it to the bank.
All right, since I have political prophets in studio this morning, we have to wrap it up, Gitu, so you can do that in a minute.
Okay, thank you so much. So, about the by-election,
Yes.
about this country, and about my county, and about my constituency. So, we will be having a very interesting period come July, in that in Kiamba we had that by-election, and it was very competitive. So we expect, and I'm speaking this to the IBC, let them follow the constitution, let them do what the people expect, for them to build the trust of the people. As you understand very well, the people don't really trust IBC, but the IBC can now come up with a way the people can trust them in the coming by-election. So, as I conclude, I want to thank EBN for having me this morning, and also I want to clarify thing, to say something about the Gen Z. We are really prepared about the 2027 by-election.
But you guys are not registering to vote.
That is a tragedy.
We are planning. We are planning very well, and this is not a mass registration.
It's a
voters.
continuous,
It is a continuous. And a continuous, one thing IBC have a challenge with is they are situated in one position. For example, in constituencies, we have 290 constituency, but a constituency is very large. Having in mind that one constituency has 5 wards, people are having that challenge to go to take a matatu, maybe to take a means of transport to go and register. That is the problem that we are having. And since the IBC said from November we will be having a mass registration. Now those registration center will come close to the people. Will come close to the people, and we will have massive voter registration. And also the young people of the land don't misunderstand that they're not registered. Majority of them are registered voters. They voted in 2022. And now we have a very good number that we will register them.
Okay.
So that is it.
All right, interesting. You say there's a good number, and yet just from the stats themselves, quite a low number, and it's a continuous process here. But question is, will they come out and vote? Leon, as we wrap it up.
Well, as I conclude, I cannot help but be proud of our young people in this nation. I cannot help but be proud of them. There are things they are doing that are way so touching. And I cannot be more proud than I am of Ibrahim. To see young men going in for the political seats and running to go and change this country. We are chanting the right direction as a nation. So I wish our young men, our young women, all the best, and I wish to urge them to come out in their numbers and contest for these seats. These seats are not a preserve for the chosen. These seats are for you, for me, for everyone to change this nation. The future is great. The future has never been so great as it will be. The future has started. The future is now. Thank you, Cynthia.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. In studio this morning on my immediate right, Ibrahim Gitu, who is an MP aspirant in 2027, as well as a political commentator. Asante for your time. And Leon Harun, who is also a political analyst. Thank you very much for your time this morning and for your input on this by-election litmus test. As I mentioned earlier, the nomination of political party candidates and independent candidates will be happening tomorrow. That is Wednesday and Thursday for some of these regions that are wards, constituencies, and even a senatorial seat that are conducting the by-elections. And so we'll be waiting to see a lot of feedback will be coming in concerning the nominations, concerning the by-elections themselves, which will be happening in November. And then we can always have a post-analysis of just what has been this period and what is likely to be the future come 2027. So we wrap it up at this point this morning. Thank you for watching. I hope you're duly informed. My name is Cynthia Nanjala. Have yourself a wonderful morning.